What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Insight. Daniel Cormier just broke down Nassourdine Imavov's chances against Khamzat Chimaev after his UFC Paris win over Caio Borralho. What most fans saw as a tactical but underwhelming performance has now shifted the spotlight to Reinier de Ridder and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, who are set to fight at UFC Vancouver. But listen to this, their matchup could steal the show and decide who really earns the next crack at the champ. On ESPN's Good Guy, Bad Guy, DC admitted Imavov looked sharp and impressive, no doubt, but he doesn't think that one win is enough to guarantee a title shot just yet. He said it all comes down to what happens between RDR and Hernandez on October 18th, and that fight is expected to be pure chaos. That's not all. Both guys are known for relentless pressure, and with Khamzat holding the belt, every contender is coming with bad intention. The middleweight division has never been this wild. It gets crazier because every fight now carries massive stakes for the champ and the future of the division. So here's the real question. Who do you think is the biggest threat to Khamzat's title? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
He's getting better at every turn, but I don't know that that was enough for me. Because if Fluffy Hernandez looks like he did last time, or if Reinier de Ridder puts Fluffy out, I'll be like, okay, this is the guy. It's that what you can remember type of mentality. And I share it with most fans, where it's like, what do I remember easier? And normally it's the last thing that I saw, right? One of those guys in Vancouver has an opportunity to truly hammer home the idea that it's their chance, no one else's. And I got to see it happen. But yes, Imavov looked fantastic. Imavov looks like a guy that truly can challenge Khamzat Chimaev in some areas that we didn't see with Dricus du Plessis. But I don't know if it was enough. I don't know that it was enough.
After French fighters stole the show with flawless performances at UFC Paris, all eyes are now on Gane to pull off the upset against Tom Aspinal and make history as the first ever French UFC champion. But listen to this, Benoit Saint-Denis, one of the big winners in Paris, is already backing him to do it. And that's not all. He believes when the action shifts to Abu Dhabi, Gane will rise to the occasion and finally bring that belt home. Benoit Saint-Denis recently explained why he thinks Gane will beat Tom Aspinal, saying he spent a lot of time with him over the past year and has seen firsthand how hungry and motivated he is to finally win the belt. But listen to this. Benoit also talked about his own future, making it clear he's ready to fight anyone in the top 10. And that's not all. And he said he wants to stay active, keep stacking wins, and climb the ranks. It gets crazier because he even blamed his loss to Dustin Poirier on issues with his coach at the time, showing how much has changed for him since then. As for Gane, some people believe he came up short in past title fights because of mental hurdles, but according to BSD, this time in Abu Dhabi he's sharper, more focused, and ready to finally make his mark. The reason this is happening is because he's improved mentally, but let's be real, his wrestling and grappling are still big question marks that could play a huge role.
I want a huge fight, of course, but I do believe I'm going back to fighting as much as possible, and I want to win as much as possible. And I will accept any opportunities the UFC is giving me to fight somebody inside this top 10. To be honest, I think we are gonna finally have our first French UFC champion. I think Cyril, I've been talking with him, taking more time with him this year than the past years, talking and training, and yeah, I think he's ready. And I think he has this fire inside him of wanting to become champion, working out since a long time. He's not talking a lot this past month, but he has been doing a real good job, and he has been working hard. And I do believe he's an exceptional athlete, even for the heavyweight division. And on 5 rounds, I do believe he's gonna beat Tom Aspinal.
And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Javier Mendez, the longtime coach of Team Khabib, recently sat down with podcaster Hikmat Wehbi and gave some surprising insight on Khamzat Chimaev. Mendez revealed that Khamzat actually joined his team for a training session at the UFC PI in Las Vegas. And according to him, Chimaev's performance in the gym really impressed him. Naturally, the host asked the big question, is Khamzat the next Khabib? But that's where Javier Javier shut things down quickly. He made it clear that in his eyes, there's only one Khabib. He explained that Nurmagomedov's legacy isn't just about dominating opponents inside the cage. It's also about being the only fighter who consistently speaks out for world peace. Mendez added that while fighters like Chimaev raise their voice for specific causes, like Khamzat has done for Palestine, that's not the same as what Khabib represents. In Javier's words, Khabib speaks for global peace, not just one region, and that's what makes him unique and sets him apart from everyone else.
Khamzat, from everybody I've ever heard that's trained with him, and me visually, I've seen him firsthand. I've seen him in the PI, Las Vegas PI, and I watched him train. I was very, very impressed with him, and I've met him 3 or 4 times, and very nice. I really like him, and I've thought that he was going to be the champ, you know, and I still hold to that. I believe he's going to be the champ.
Yeah. I mean, everyone saw that this is the next Khabib. I don't know.
Well, I would say the next
I'm
Khamzat.
sure.
I would say the next Khamzat, because for me, it's like, I don't look at anybody as the next Khabib because everybody's different. He's Khamzat, you know. Islam is not Khabib. He's Islam, you know.
No, I'm talking about Khamzat. Yeah, Khamzat is the next Khabib, but it's not. Huh?
No, they're not. They're different because how many of those guys speak out on the world peace, and how many of them do what Khabib does?
So this is what you see Khabib.
That's what I see.
Okay.
This is the thing about Khabib. It is not what he does inside the cage that's important. It's what he does outside. How many of these fighters that you know of, think about it. I want you to think about it. Who does what for what? What fighter? Only one. Only one. Only one that speaks out for people, other than Bilal Muhammad, who speaks out for Palestine. But Khabib is not just speaking out for Palestine. He speaks out for all people. You know, he does for everybody.
Brian Ortega has finally broken his silence after that nightmare weight cut ahead of his fight with Aljamain Sterling at UFC Shanghai, and what he shared is honestly shocking. Ortega revealed that things got so bad during the cut that he actually lost consciousness, and not just for a few seconds, but nearly 30 minutes. When he eventually came to, it was Sterling himself who walked over and comforted him. Ortega says Sterling even told him not to worry, reassuring him that the UFC already had a backup plan, but Ortega wasn't having any of it. He told Sterling straight up that he wasn't going to waste his time. He was still going to fight, even though his body had completely shut down on him. But once the cage door closed, it was clear he wasn't himself. Sterling dominated from start to finish, putting on a statement performance. His striking looked sharper than ever, and he mixed it up with complete control on the ground. Ortega had no answers, and Sterling looked levels ahead. And Sterling didn't waste any time afterward. On the mic, he immediately called out the champ Alexander Volkanovski, vowing to cut the line and go straight into a title shot.
Well, we cut from midnight all the way to 8 in the morning, cutting weight the entire time. I realized I had 1.7 to go still. Confused on how my body wasn't really pouring out the water or why it was just holding it in, but no matter what, we have to get this weight off, so we did. We went downstairs at about 8 something, decided to cut more weight, put the plastics on, sweet sweat, I mean, you name the whole thing. I hit 20 minutes on the bike. Once I got off, I went unconscious. I was unconscious for about 30 minutes. During that time, they were putting ice on me. They took all my, my clothes off. They left me in boxers. Woke up in the ER. I ripped everything off. I tried to speak. I couldn't really, translate to them because I'm like, if they don't take everything off, I'm gonna take it off myself. So I started taking everything off myself. We knew that we had a time limit to get to the weigh-ins. Otherwise, I could not fight. If you saw the weigh-ins, you obviously know that I looked delirious and just coming off of being 30 minutes unconscious in the tunnel, what they say.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to MMA Analysts and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one from Chris Breeze 8875. People need to stop talking about the Raja situation already. It's f***ing annoying if he hasn't been locked up. Chances are he isn't. The second one from Robert Jones 9275 says, I'm gonna talk about Conor. Glad he's sober and doing something patriotic. Hope he wins. And the last one is from Sigmon M3P says, Conor would have won being president if it was 2016 or 2017, but he's a complete joke now. Those were the top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up. See you in the next video.